It's just very problematic, but I've just accepted
What
it.
is your understanding of previous years?
I think you did the right thing. Your idea. They've got enough. They're from.
Love would be a struggle for me. I
They
would
have
have like one
information
major
on
sponsor.
that, like, and when I signed up, I didn't say I was like
could fit love at all.
under instead of my birthday.
You're right.
So.
Most
You're
probably.
24.
Sounds like
Yeah, no, if it's love, then they're gonna have to be like,
So you're 24.
it's gotta be romantic. I feel like, I don't know.
no.
No, they would say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can say I love dogs. Dogs sing me songs. Dogs. I love dogs actually. They're
Loving
great
dogs is
prom.
So like 24,
Yeah, and what if
24 is like
That's a
so
great
Fuck
song.
you. They're not allowed
It's
to
such a
say
good
it.
song.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, what if it's like hatred? Like right now, hatred.
Yeah, right about that.
2020, like
It's
2020.
like the best songs like
Pretty much. I turned 21 right before, a couple months before COVID.
I did turn 21 and then when I actually got to my parents, I was 25.
I don't know. I
was like, I don't know.
Do you want some what?
I'm going to a bar. What do you want? I'm like, here.
They kicked us out from school, so we had to go home. So I was just home and going around the corner to the beer store and just getting like a news six pack every day. And I was
Me
like,
and my brother made a This was like really high.
Good evening.
Could be an argument.
My name is Luca. I know all of you.
Do you want me to get the kitchen folks in here?
They should be coming.
I could go kick some butts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, let's all. Do you think we should all go?
Yeah.
Like the rebirthing us all. Oh, who?
Mason.
Oh.
No. He's still here.
Mason can sit on
This
like
is my house, I can sit on any of
So,
them.
yeah. Thanks so much for coming. We're gonna have a lovely, intimate evening of music tonight. Now, you might be thinking, this is not what most house shows look like. And you would be right. Because most house shows are in a basement, but our basement ceilings are too low.
For you.
Or we would, I mean, even arguably for other people too.
I would fit perfect.
Okay, well, maybe one person? No, okay. So, but it's not just that it's like a little more intimate and vibey. It is. But, so Simon and Mars Counsel are going to be doing some absolutely super cool things tonight, such as the very smart idea to play a song and then ask for feedback from it on it from a live audience, which I know I'll have you already know, but which is just like crazy because it's like it's hard enough to ask for feedback without being on stage as well. So we're gonna give them good feedback and not bad feedback because we want to uplift these artists and not crush their hopes and dreams. So some examples of bad feedback would be make it more Taylor Swift, or it needs a full drum kit because there's no full drum kit, so maybe they would have put a full drum kit in it anyway. Anyway, I'm starting to ramble a little bit. So I'm gonna play a song, which is my Eternal Out. Grace lay rocks on the stream bed underfoot. Smooth and flat, perfect stones to skip. But this water's moving too fast, and I fear my chance has passed away. Sky views from thin air on a peak. Time just keeps on winning. Time just keeps on winning. Just keeps on winning. So, Simon Precious James. The first time that I met Simon was actually at the World Cafe Live open mic. And if you've ever been to the World Cafe that open mic, you know that it's not a sign-up sheet. It's a raffle. So I got lucky, and I'm pretty sure Simon did not get lucky.
I did.
You did get lucky.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was up all night to get lucky. I've actually yet to show up to World Cafe Live and not get called.
That's sick. So yeah, so that's where Simon and I met, and it was a great time. And we both got called, and it was great. And we chatted up on Instagram, and then I think we saw each other at an open mic at the same one again sometime. And Simon invited me to play one of his little stairwell concerts, which is just like the smallest, most intimate concert. That's where I met Shanae too. So, and as I got to talk to Simon more, he started telling me about his projects, and he's writing an EP on folk-strung garden songs, which I just thought was like so cool. I was like, oh my gosh, I love it, and it was just such a wonderful little like intimate, chill evening. And so, but the garden song thing really stuck with me. I don't know why. I like nature, and maybe that's why. So, if you've never been here before, one of the things that I like to do for the artists that play is play a little song to introduce them. It's not just me talking about them and how great at music they are. It's actually, doing a little tribute to their musical style and subject matter. So I got a little song here, and I forget what capo I'm supposed to be using, so that'll be fun.
Pick a random one.
7. I think it was 3. And so it's not really a garden song, but it's about a willow tree. It's by this artist Jasmine Thompson, who's this lovely little English artist. And I don't know, it just felt like the right one to do. So I'm gonna sing it for you, just a little bit, because I'm not great at this. Down by the water, under the willow, sits a lone ranger minding the willow. He and his wife once lived happily, planted a seed that grew through the reeds. Summers and winters through snowy Decembers, sat by the water, close to the embers, missing out the lives that they once had before. I wouldn't leave you, I would hold you when the last day comes. What if you need me? Won't you hold me when the last day, our last day? That's all. So, it's a great song, except she Bill with Willow, and not only does she do it once, she does it twice. Anyway. Simon Percy James! Round of applause!
Thank you so much, Luca. And that was one of the sweetest introductions I've ever had. I love that. A lot of the songs that I do are very nature-oriented. And most of the ones that I do tonight, if not all of them, will be. So it was very apropos, my friend. Yeah, let's get into it. I like to start my gigs, first of all, by acknowledging that we are in Lenape-Hoking, current and ancestral land of the Lenape, who are still here and never left, and their cousins were forced to leave. And it's important to acknowledge that not just because it's trendy, but because it's important to have a starting point. And relationship is really important. And you can't be in a relationship if you don't know who's around you. So there are 3 state-recognized tribes in the Philadelphia area. One in southern Delaware, it's the Lenape Indian tribe of Delaware. One in southern New Jersey, the Nanaco-Lenni-Lenape tribe. And then up in North Jersey, the Ramapo Lenape. And you're welcome to Google them and learn about them and visit and find ways to volunteer or make reparations that feel meaningful to you as well, being that we are here on this land and in a privileged place. So I work with the Lenape Indian Tribe of Delaware on some land and water restoration projects, and you're welcome to chat with me about that afterwards too. But I also like to start by inviting people to kind of shift around. At any point, if you feel uncomfortable, get comfortable. Don't feel like you have to hold yourself still because you're listening to me play quiet little sweet songs. And the other thing I like to do is invite us to kind of make noise together, just right off the bat, because I really truly believe that throughout human history, singing together has been really important, and mourning together has been really important, and making noise is how we do those things. And it's a time of great stress and anxiety and upheaval and mourning in many ways. And we often are taught to hold ourselves tight and to keep ourselves from allowing our voices to be heard. So I want to invite us to take a breath and kind of like roll your neck or roll your shoulders or notice where might feel tight a little bit. Do it gently if that feels good. Do big movements if that feels good. But breathe and move around. And now the next time you breathe, make a sound, whatever sound wants to come out of your mouth. Are you ready? Yeah, that's nice. How about one more time together? Breathing and making sound. Thank you. I feel better. The first song I'm going to do is a mashup of an old folk song that comes from Ireland and Scotland. It was batted across the channel by poets and musicians, and is now known by 2 names. Did anyone watch the movie Sinners yet?
Yes.
That movie is now in my top 5 movies of all time. Yes, there are only 2 movies so far in that list, but it's one of them.
What's the other?
Everything Everywhere All at Once. I like this group already. So Sinners is an amazing story, directed by Ryan Coogler. It's set in the, just a few years before Prohibition ended in the South. I think it's Georgia or Louisiana, I can't remember. I think it might be the Mississippi Bayou. Yeah, and it centers blues music really deeply, and it's gorgeous music scenes. And I describe it as a movie about the power of music. It deals with many human dynamics and issues and historical situations. And it also happens toward the end of the movie to be a vampire movie. And when the vampires come out, the main vampire is an Irishman. And he sings this song. And a friend of mine at a little musical gathering asked me, he goes, he really, really loved the movie. And he goes, do you know any of the songs from it? And I was like, no, I haven't learned any yet. Completely forgetting that I've been singing this song for years. So this is Will You Go, Lassie, Go, also known as Wild Mountain Time. I'll sing the chorus first, and you're welcome to join in with me. It's relatively simple, but if you know it, sing out. If you don't feel ashamed, don't feel reluctant, just sing whatever part you get. Sing harmonies, whatever you want to do. So the chorus goes like this. Will you go, lassie, go, and we'll all go together to pull wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? We're gonna do it again. You can pick up little bits and pieces. Will you go, lassie, go? Here we go. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together. And we'll all go together to pull wild mountain time. To pull wild mountains all around the blooming, all around the blooming heather. Will you go? Will you go, lassie, go? Oh, the summertime is come, and the trees are sweetly blooming, and the wild mountain thyme grows around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go. And we'll all go together to pull wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? I will build my love a bower by the deep crystal fountain, and round it I will pile all the wildflowers o'er the mountain. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to pull wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? I will roam through the wilds by the deep glens dreary, and return to the bower, oh me dearie. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to pull wild mountain thyme around blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? One of the beautiful things about the movie Sinners is that it plays with the ideas of good and evil. And this Irishman who's a vampire and wants to turn everyone into a vampire is not portrayed as an evil person, but as a person who's really trying to help everyone just sing together. So right now I'm kind of vampire. And it's beautiful. It plays with duality and nuance. And the reason he's looking for this one person is because this person has a powerful musical gift that keeps him and everyone around him in touch with the ancestors. And he wants to be in touch with his ancestors and their music. That's beautiful. Then he tries to eat everybody. You have to be able to put up with a little bit of gore to enjoy this movie. But what connects them is this power of music and how it connects you to the ancestors, to a spiritual place and to the land itself. This song that I'm about to play, I wrote while I was living in Costa Rica, in the cloud forests of Monteverde. And it's about that connection to the land. It also has a chorus that you're welcome to sing along to. I'll teach it to you. When the mountain sings her song, time holds its breath so long. And when you fall in love in the clouds, you never ever want to come down. May love always guide you, and peace always find you. The tides always remind you of the moon. Will you sing that with me? May love always guide you. May love always guide you, and peace always find you. And peace always find you. The tides always remind you. The tides always remind you of the moon. Of the moon. And when the river sings to the sea, she carries prayers for you and me. And when the sea sings to the sky, she carries those prayers on high. May love always guide you. May love always guide you. Peace, and peace always find you. The tides always remind you of the moon. Of the moon. Of the moon. For many generations of human history, we were always tied to the cycles of nature. It was impossible not to be. And we still are. But it's harder to notice. I asked Daniel if he had a book called Braiding Sweetgrass earlier. And he does. But in a house full of books, it can be hard to place it. But I wanted to have it out to show you because it's by an amazing author named Robin Wall Kimmerer, who's from the Citizen Potawatomi Nation, and she's a brilliant botanist and biologist. And that book helps us remember what we all know in our DNA, that we are of the land and of the water, and without it we are nothing. Will you sing Will You Go, Lassie, Go with me one more time? Yeah? You can say this out loud if you want to.
Yes.
Alright, here we go. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to a wild mountain time, all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? May love always guide you, and peace always find you. The tides always remind you of the moon. a song I wrote. I haven't named it yet, it hasn't been recorded yet, but it's at the top of my musical to-do list, which is on like 5 burners back at the moment. Yeah, but it would be lovely to get that recorded soon. And it would be lovely to record this next song that I wrote in February. And this, Luca, is the one I'd like feedback around.
Cool.
But I don't want to hand out the lyric sheets yet because I'd like, actually, can I ask your consent to do something? Can we hand out the lyric sheets, but you won't look at them yet? Great, because this is what I want to do. I want to play this song twice. I'm working out some kinks in it, so it's good for me to play it multiple times anyway. But I'm also curious to know how the song hits you without any introduction whatsoever.
Sure.
And then I'll give an introduction to it and how the song hits you with the introduction also. So the first go, I think I'd like you not to be looking at the lyrics, but to be kind of making mental notes about them. Because I'd like to hear feedback about what emotions the song brings up, or what thoughts it brings to mind, or questions that you have, or like, I don't hear compositions in my head of a bass part, and drum part and stuff, so while Luca did earlier say, don't say if you hear a drum part in the song, for me, go for it. Like if you hear a musical part in the song, make a mental note of that too. And at the end of the song, if you want to make a little scribble, if you have a pen or pencil, or make a note in your phone or something, then I'll do my introduction to the song, and we'll do it again, and you can look at the lyrics. Just know that the lyrics are maybe different than what I'm actually going to sing. And then we'll have a little feedback session. Does that sound good? Is everyone cool with that? Questions, comments, concerns? Cool. Objections? Just flat out objections? The idea?
Play it 3 times.
Okay, so this song, I haven't officially named it yet, but when I play music with my friends, they ask for it as the Buffalo song. I hear thunder in the distance. It'll be here soon. There's a new moon bearing witness. A storm like this will make you change your tune. Will you run? Will you hide? Will you get caught in an angry tide? Will you set aside your pride? 'Cause there's an ocean in your eyes. Oh, there's memories from storms ago, and generations of ancestors know why they killed Buffalo. Will we turn and face the rain? Will we make space for all the pain? 'Cause there's an ocean in your eyes, and there's stardust in your eyes. Oh, and there's memories from storms ago, generations of ancestors know why they tried to kill the buffalo. Will we run as one into the rolling thunder with childlike wonder? Oh, where the soil still meets the sky. Will we run together straight into the center? Oh, will this circle have no sides? There's memories from storms ago, generations of ancestors know why they tried and failed to kill off all the buffalo. I hear thunder in the distance. It'll be here soon. There's a new moon bearing witness. What song will we choose? What song will we choose? All right, so I think I do want to give a little chance for just like popcorn, immediate, first take, gut impression, like feelings, thoughts, colors, instruments, sounds, anything just like pop out. Feel free. It doesn't have to be good.
Amber.
Amber.
Yeah, it's like a golden
Mm,
brown sepia.
I liked it.
It sounds like it's referring to something specific that happened to Buffalo, but I'm not familiar with this, so I'm intrigued.
Intrigued by what's up with the buffalo. Yeah.
It also had overtones of a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, a relationship with nature or a person,
Mm-hmm.
but nature as a metaphor.
Overtones of a relationship. Nature as a metaphor for a relationship. Yeah, unclear what exact kind of relationship. I'm repeating things I hear, partially because that's, active listening and whatnot, but also because there's a live stream going and they might not be able to hear what you're saying.
It's very true.
Any other thoughts? Ooh,
Sonically, I feel like I hear a maraca. There
A
would be
maraca?
ancillary percussion in there.
yeah, some percussion of some sort. Love it.
It made me feel like moving forward even when you don't like see the hope.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Beautiful.
I was gonna say arrangement wise, I hear like, are you familiar with Rising Appalachia?
Mm-hmm.
I want to hear like kind of the way that they do their percussion while hand drums.
Yeah, yeah.
But I also think it can do without.
Yeah.
I love your acoustic sound.
So James said something hopeful, but even in like kind of a dark time is kind of what it sounded like. And then, I'm sorry, I don't know you. Laura said something that my friend Shane is going to really love to hear, which is hand drums, some kind of hand drum percussion. Beautiful. All right. Do we want to turn the lights up a little bit so that people can look at the lyrics? Because I know they're kind of small. And we'll do it again real quick. You're good? Okay. All right, so before we get too deep into like poetry and analysis on the page, I'm gonna give you an introduction, yeah? Or do you want a minute with the lyrics? It's all fluid, it can go any which way. Let's okay. So I started writing this song after hearing a wonderful singer-songwriter named Syl Fisher, who, Luca, if you don't know Syl, you do know Syl, do you? Maybe. I feel like I met Syl at World Cafe Live also. Or maybe not, actually. Never mind, I'm not going to tell that story. But I heard Syl play at the Rug Club, which is a wonderful little basement venue in West Philadelphia that has lovely, lovely music and musicians. And Syl said something in a song that caused my brain and body and mind and all that stuff to just like hear this line. I hear thunder in the distance. And as I heard that line, I started thinking about buffalo, because I had recently learned this interesting fact about buffalo, which are known as the American bison. It's a more accurate name, but less accurate than ta, which is the Sioux name for them. And I was thinking to myself about this thunder in the distance and this fact about buffalo, which is that when a storm is coming, much like tonight, the buffalo herd on the prairies, they don't run away from the storm, try and get away from it. They turn around and face it, and as a group run into the storm. And as the storm goes from west to east and the buffalo go from east to west, they make it through the storm faster together and then get to rest instead of being chased and chased and chased and chased all the way across the plains. So there's something in there about being together as one and not being afraid of an oncoming storm, kind of facing it head on. And the part of this introduction that I don't really know how to tell yet is that one of the saddest parts of our nation's history is the mass genocide of indigenous people. And one of the things that braiding sweetgrass teaches is that people are not just humans in the worldview of all Turtle Island indigenous groups. The buffalo for the plains people were considered relatives, their family, their elders, their teachers. It's definitely not thunder outside, but it sure sounds like it. And in the mid-1800s, there was a concerted effort to kill all the buffalo on the plains. It's estimated that there were 30 million buffalo, roaming all the way as far east as central Pennsylvania. 30 million. Early accounts say that the plains were blackened by herds of buffalo running together. You can imagine what that thunder sounds like. But they were reduced to a size of, some accounts say 300, some accounts say 23. And then Yellowstone National Park was created in part to try and protect the last herd of wild buffalo after the genocide of buffalo took place. And they're still treated in Montana, where they have some space to roam, as livestock. They're managed by the Montana Livestock Commission. So it's this ongoing story of pain, but this ongoing story of resilience at the same time. Hope in a dark place. Which feels very resonant for what we're going through together as a country right now. I hear thunder in the distance. It'll be here soon. And there's a new moon bearing witness. A storm like this will make you change your tune. Will you run? Will you hide? Will you get caught in an angry tide? Will you set aside your pride There's an ocean in your eyes. Oh, there's memories from storms ago. Generations of ancestors know why they killed buffalo. Will we turn and face the rain? Will we make space for all the pain? 'Cause there's an ocean in the sky, and there's stardust in your eyes. Oh, there's memories from storms ago. Generations of ancestors know why they try and fail to kill off all the buffalo. Will we run as one into the thunder with childlike wonder? Oh, as the soil meets the sky. Will we run together straight into the center? Oh, will this circle have no sides? There's memories from storms ago. Generations of ancestors know why they tried to kill off all the buffalo. I hear thunder in the distance. It will be here soon. There's a new moon bearing witness. What song will we choose? What song will we choose? Yeah, don't raise your hand. Blurt it out.
Two things. I honestly think it's awesome that the fireworks are going. Because it's almost like this duality that you're playing with of
Yeah.
like the thunder of nature versus this man-made tumultuousness happening. So that almost makes me think like it'd be cool if you got like a thunder stick or some sort of like just big old rolling percussion. Arrangement-wise, lyric-wise, my one note is I think the one line that gets lost but could be way more powerful is that they tried and failed.
Yeah.
To kill the buffalo. I want both those choruses to be they tried, and the last one to be they failed. And lyrically hit, like vocally hit that tried, failed, like hit it harder.
Cool.
Because that's a really powerful part. Like they can't, we're as one, we're running as a herd, they can't get astounding.
Yeah.
I think that
Amazing.
hit harder.
I love that. I'm not going to repeat back everything. Laura, I'm not going to repeat back everything Laura said, but if you can't hear on the live stream, there are crazy fireworks going on outside. And Laura said it feels appropriate that there's this kind of ruckus of explosion and this man-made kind of disruption. And as you were saying that, I was remembering more about the history of this atrocity that happened to the buffalo, which is one of the reasons they were considered a massive nuisance was because the train industry was really getting going in the mid-1800s.
Yeah.
And herds of buffalo on the prairies would disrupt train schedules, and they would have to completely stop. And at a certain point, there was this whole concerted effort where people going on these trains, anyone who wanted to would be given a rifle and would just indiscriminately shoot buffalo as they rode past. And it was just one of the ideas that our government and our industry came up with for dealing with this buffalo problem. And that's just one small example, but as those fireworks were going off, it sounded like rifle fire. and the whole, I saw a train in my mind, and like, yeah, so and then it was even more powerful because the end of what you were saying, Laura, was about how they failed, and you want that line, they tried and failed, to really be powerful at the end, and kind of somehow make that even a bigger moment in the song. Because despite all this concerted effort of violence and catastrophe, like the buffalo are still here. Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you. We'll take that note to heart.
Piggyback off of that.
Please, Luca.
So I know we were talking earlier about the intro, and I think that like I really loved all of like the backstory of the song that came, but I don't think I want it before the song comes, because I want to have an emotional attachment. Like I think that you can build an emotional attachment to the song itself just from listening, and sometimes when you are talking a lot about the story before you play the song, I think it can get lost.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of those instances where I really don't want to lose anything you're talking about.
Yeah.
So I think, because you clearly have this great ability to weave in your talking into the middle of the songs almost, I would love to hear your intro be like an interlude almost type thing.
Woven in somehow.
Yeah, where it's like, you do like a verse, chorus, and then you tell us the story, and maybe then after that, you do like a chorus, bridge, chorus.
Yeah.
And maybe after the story is where that line changes, because it's kind of like this evolution.
That's fun. If you didn't hear online, Luca was offering the idea to weave the introduction, the narrative part, kind of somewhere into the song in live performance. I'm assuming that's just for live performance. You're not thinking about that for, say, recorded version.
I don't really think there should be any rules, so if you want to record it that way, I think you should.
Cool. So to weave that narrative introduction into the song somehow. That's a cool idea.
That said, to bounce off that, I would say that there are ways that you can incorporate that story into the lyrics.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that the lyric needs to fully function just as metaphor.
Right.
There's ways in which you can talk specifically about the very particular. I mean, the thing for me, because and this is just coming from my experience, that I was familiar with our country's history with buffalo before the song. Obviously, not everyone was, and not everyone will be, but the detail to me that felt really critical was about the fact that buffalo choose to run towards us. Like that's an ecological fact that people might not necessarily know about them as a species.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's something that is sort of the key central thing that you're using as metaphor in the song.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think there's ways you can work that into the lyrics a little, like maybe more explicitly, so that you don't have to spend as much time explaining that, or so that you don't have to worry about incorporating that story when you do a recorded version, if that's something you're considering. The other thing I'll say, I completely agree with Laura about that tried and failed. I love the chorus that changes over the course of the song.
Yeah.
That's me personally, but that feels very important. And it was the thing you did the first time you played it and not the second time.
Correct.
And there were a couple distinctions between the first time you played it and the second time you played it, and one that I noticed, and like a change that happened that I really liked, that sort of like right before you go into the chorus of "There's no shit in your eyes, there's no shit in the sky." That changes right. At first you just say "There's no shit in your eyes," then go into the chorus. The second time, I believe you say "There's no shit in the sky, but there's stardust in your eyes." I think the first time you played it, you said eyes for both of them. And I like the sky. I like that there's that distinction and not the repetition.
That's the intention. And, and
you're still writing the song, so you're still learning the song.
Exactly.
I just wanted to say explicitly, do that first time. And another thing I just wanted to talk about. I mean, because I'm curious about the lyric that stuck out to me the most both times I heard the song. For better and for worse, maybe is. Will this circle have no sides? And I'm curious about how attached you are to that lyric, or not because I think it's a bad lyric necessarily, but the thing about a circle is it doesn't have sides, right? Or maybe more accurately, it only has one side. From a geometric perspective.
my take
Right.
on circles. This is great. I love it. So there, briefly, the reason that line came out was because one of the earlier lines that came to me was this line, "Who will you choose to stand beside?"
Mm-hmm.
And that sets up this dichotomy
Right.
of sides,
Them versus us.
them versus us. And I don't want that
Sure.
ever.
Sure. Especially when it's already a song that's like dealing with very political history
Yeah.
and a very like long history
Yeah.
of that kind of division.
And I also, in the song, to open a slightly deeper layer, it's like the chorus about all our ancestors know. I'm not talking about Native American ancestors,
For sure.
right? I'm talking about our ancestors who took train rides and shot buffalo. Like, they know too
Mm-hmm.
why we tried to kill off all the buffalo, like, and failed. But it's like, so I had this idea for like, who will you choose to stand beside? And I immediately kind of internally pushed against that. And the next line that came out was, will this circle have no sides? Because my take on a circle is that it has two sides. There's an inside and an outside.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Are you in this circle? Are you in the inner circle? Are you in our circle? Whose circles do you run in? Right? And so there's like, even embedded in this idea of circle, which from one perspective is like this unifying thing, but also on another level can be very exclusive and exclusionary. And so the line, will this circle have no sides, is this honest question, like how do we find a way in our hearts and in our practice to like create a circle that has no inside and outside. So I'm not wedded to the idea, like I'm open to changing that line, but that's where I was coming from with it.
Yeah, I don't know necessarily that you need to change it.
Yeah.
It just lodged in my brain in a particular way.
Yeah.
So I think it's worth thinking about, not only because it's like thinking about what you mean with that line, not only because it's because it has all these potential layers to it, but also because in terms of where it comes in the song structurally,
Right.
it's very much the linchpin of the song.
Yeah.
It's very much,
Interesting.
to me at least, it feels very much like the central main question
Yeah.
that's going on.
I think that's fair.
You know what I mean? And sort of the main question you want people walking away from the song asking.
I agree with
people
that.
may also be asking about what happened to the buffalo, but that's a question that can be answered.
Yeah, hearing the poet in me, hearing that, loves that. Like, loves that. I haven't thought about what the central kind of question of the song is, but if that is it, I love that. But it's a very nuanced kind of
Yeah.
multi-layered thing. Cool.
Absolutely.
This is so fun, Luca. I want this all the time. Okay, I don't want to take up too much more time,
I
but
say, not about the music, but
Yeah.
if you haven't been to South Dakota, obviously,
Yeah.
politically, it's not a fabulous place, but, wonderful buffalo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Custer.
yeah, there are few pockets where buffalo herds are allowed to be.
The other thing I will throw out and say now, actually, because it's occurring to me, is I think it is true, because you have a sort of human versus nature dichotomy going on in the song, and also implicit in that in the metaphor, like humans versus humans. But I think it's worth noting they tried and failed to kill the buffalo, but there was a concerted effort, right, to get rid of this species.
Yeah.
But there was also a concerted effort to preserve them
Yeah.
at a certain point.
Yeah.
And there wouldn't still be buffalo if it weren't for
Right?
places like Yellowstone,
Yeah.
versus like other national parks that have done that sort of work.
That's an interesting
And that was a
nuance.
decision we made sort of as a country.
Yeah.
Maybe not as a country as a whole, but certainly.
Yep, the federal government made a decision to call in the cavalry to protect the last buffalo herd after everything happened, to try and preserve it. And that story has been, in very large part in our nation's history, romanticized, of us being the savior of the buffalo, right, as a nation.
Right.
So
Even
it's-
though we were the ones killing them in the first
Yeah,
place. Right.
yeah, so the nuance continues. Yeah, beautiful. All right, any last things? I wanna do one more song and then get out of here, because
That sounds. So, first of all, round of applause.
I got used to talk, the volume
Thank
Sounds
you.
like that. Wow. He
Thank
kept
you.
talking in a different volume and then he switched. Whoa. Look at this. No, that's it. Thank you.
Beautiful, thank you.
I will just throw an open invitation that if you would like to do this again, I host a songwriting circle every Tuesday.
Sweet.
So come and share a song and talk about Buffalo.
Love it. Love it, Luca. Every Tuesday here.
Every
Songwriting
Tuesday.
circle.
Yeah.
You're doing good things, my friend. You're doing good things. Okay, one more song and then we're gonna get out of here because there's some amazing music coming up right after this. So Luca mentioned I have an EP that I have 3 songs recorded. I think I'm just gonna release it as a 3-song EP. One of them is an original song that I wrote called Garden in Your Mind. One of them is a very like call and response sing-along song called Plant Me a Garden, which is really love. I mean, it is. The whole point of the song is like I'm gonna plant the seeds of love, and that's what's gonna grow, and then I'm gonna send fruits out to all my friends, and then they'll have the seeds of love, and they can plant those seeds, you know, wherever they live, and then we'll all just be growing the seeds of love all over the world. But this song is another sing-along option, and it was written by, this is also on the EP, so it's those 3 songs, and it should be coming out like whenever I decide to push the button. You know, so if you want to help me push the button, feel free to give me a little kick in the butt. And you can do that by following me on Instagram at Simon Purchase James. And I also have a Patreon, which is a great place to stay connected if you prefer like an email notification every time I do something interesting, which these days is all the time, but I won't send you emails all the time. But the Patreon is free if you guys want to sign up for that, or you can choose to donate a little bit. It's also patreon.com/Simon Purchase James. And that's where I'll be letting people know that the EP is coming out soon. So this is the final song on the EP. It's called Dirt. And this is the one that I chose as a song to talk about a technique. Some of my favorite songs are songs that flip something. Flip a meaning of something, right? So the one example that came to my mind as I was coming here was there's a Casey Musgraves song called Space Cowboy, right? And when you hear the phrase Space Cowboy, something very specific comes to your mind, right? But the chorus of that song is, you can have your space, comma, cowboy. And it's this like idea that's like, you're not, you know, the song is kind of like this breakup. You're not really contributing to my life. You can like go take your space. You can have it, you cowboy, right? And so it's like the technique is to do something kind of witty or funny, but to flip something that initially triggers something in our minds that we think of. So when you think of dirt, like, and the phrase specifically to treat someone like dirt, what connotations come out for you?
Mud.
Mud?
Dirtiness.
Yeah.
To step on.
To step on them.
Lowliness.
Lowliness. Yeah. So all these connotations are kind of negative and bad and about being, in some ways, being close to the earth. Part of what colonization did was to say that the farther away you can get from the soil, the wealthier you are, the more status you have. The less you have to spend time on the actual earth, the better of a human you are, which we know is nonsense, right? And there are all these things that come along with that, including like the advent of a lawn as a status symbol. Very directly tied. Right, so this song flips this phrase, treat me like dirt, and you'll get to sing that with me. It'll become very obvious. So this is a song by Ben Doobie. We went to the same college, Green Mountain College, but he graduated years before I did, and this song was passed down through generations of singer-songwriter musicians at the college. I know this girl, I'm in the wrong key. Oh, it feels so much better. Okay. I know this girl, she has a garden. She helps it grow with love. You need to see it to to believe how well it grows. If you want to know her secret, you can't see it from above. No, it's hidden in the earth way down below. Yes, she listens to the soil, gives it everything it needs, keeps it covered, treats it gently, safe and warm. And if she'd only give me half the faith she gives a seed. I'm really tired, folks, so I messed up the lyric. But you're lovely humans, and so we're right back at it. Trying to jump right back in. Keeps it covered, treats it gently, safe and warm. And with all that's living down there, she's got 1 trillion mouths to feed. So it comes as no surprise, she's got no time to notice me. I wish she'd treat me like dirt. I wish she'd treat me like dirt. You can sing that if you want to. I wish she'd treat me like dirt. I wish she'd treat me like dirt. And here's a little post-chorus that goes like this. I wish that she would rub me off her hands on the back of her skirt, keep digging on me until her back hurts, roll around in me, dissolve all boundaries that we come from, and we're all bound to be dirt. But she won't treat me like dirt. Yes, and well, I watch her while she's working. All that steady strength and ease gives all her focus to each plant one by one. And if she'd only give me just half the faith she gives a seed, then with all her tender care she could make flowers bloom from me. I wish she'd treat me like dirt. I wish she'd treat me like dirt. Yes, I do now. I wish she'd treat me like dirt. Yeah. I wish she'd treat me like dirt. Now y'all can keep singing that part while I do this. I wish that she would rubbing off her hands on the back of her skirt, keep a digging on me until her back hurts, roll around me, dissolve all boundaries that we come from, and we're all bound to be dirt. But she won't treat me like dirt. No, she won't. When I think of her, my heart turns to tomato paste, just staring at those fruits and at that face. Yeah, these things weren't made for only looking. Won't you let me have a taste? And if you still don't want me, compost me. Don't let me go to waste. I wish she'd treat me like dirt. 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 Oh yeah, yeah. I wish that she would rub me off her hands on the back of her skirt, keep digging on me until her back hurts, roll around me, dissolve all boundaries we come from, and we're all bound to be dirt. Yeah. She won't treat me like dirt. No, she won't. And you know, sometimes we gotta learn to treat ourselves like dirt before we go looking for someone to fix our problems and do the things that we need to do to stop feeling so hurt. We can take the soil in our hearts and minds and grow beautiful vines with fruits and flowers too. We can take it all and share it. It's not just for me and you. We can compost all that stuff that doesn't serve us anymore. Turn it into gold. beautiful friends that you could ever hold. Yeah, every moment of every day we can learn to laugh and play and treat ourselves a little bit more like dirt. I pray if there's anything you take away, it's that you are all alchemists. You can turn all that shit into something beautiful. Oh, you know, it all helps us grow. Literally. It's no surprise that we flush away so many nutrients down the toilet. Not to get too radical. It's part of the cycle, it's part of the system, we can't hide from it. Can't flush away the things we don't want anymore. Just leave them to the world's poor to deal with, like we don't have a responsibility to fish in the sea. We don't have a responsibility to the water too. Oh, we wouldn't be alive if the water didn't have a responsibility for me and you. We can learn to make it all true. In every moment and every day, we choose what we do. And we create everything new. So I'm gonna try a little harder every day to treat myself like dirt, so I can treat you like dirt too. And if you'd like to sing with me one more time, I wish you'd treat me like dirt, yes I really do. Here we go now. I wish you'd treat me like dirt. I wish you'd treat me like dirt. Sing as loud as you want. I wish you'd treat me like dirt. Oh, I wish you'd treat me like dirt. Sing it one more time. Here we go. I wish you'd treat me like dirt. Y'all sound so beautiful. I wish you'd treat me like dirt. Y'all rock. I can't wait to rock with y'all. Let's do it, let's do it, let's do it.
Another round of applause for Simon. We're going to take a quick 5-10 minutes to do a little room switch up and get Mars Counsel all set up to go, and then we'll kick things off. A second for that. Yes. That would take things like that.
So did you guys sound them originally when you met Luca?
Good kind of.
Very nice, thank you.
Music is quite illuminating. I love the end poet. I actually ran up when we were chatting, because I know we have.
Yeah.
And I'm sort of the librarian of the house.
I appreciate
I can
your
picture it,
service.
the beige,
Yep,
the
yep.
green.
Yep.
She's got a new one out.
Yeah.
Is that helpful?
The service berry. It's almost service berry season. Jasmine had her first service berry of the season. They're coming. There's a reason they're called June berries.
Put them on for,
And they're all over the city.
We got those at my bookstore, the books, not the service berries. But they had,
Do you like the books?
No shit, they actually are. Wait, what?
I don't know.
It's just like
They're a very common landscaping plant, especially right now because a lot of landscapers are incentivized to plant a native plant. And they're kind of a shrub-sized plant. They don't get really big, so landscapers are planting them all over the place, even in like developments, Wegmans. Once we're Wegmans, we used to have a row of like.
I don't know.
They look like blueberries. When they're fully ripe, they turn like a.
I told you yes. I said yes.
They are. They're delicious. They're amazing. Some people think they're better than blueberries.
We got the copies in the store at the public center. Like they were like little like. Were they service berries? I don't know if they were service berries. They were relevant, but it was like a promotional item we were gonna give out with the. That's all. Yeah, we talked about this. I
feel like I've seen that in a video.
I feel like we also gonna talk about it because I remember you talking about bringing some grass.
Okay.
Well, cafe or but we saw that in local stores for talking about it. Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so just take the second one.
I work at Main Point Books.
Just maybe
They're like an indie that's out in Wayne.
Okay. Sounds good.
And then you live out in Wayne?
No, I live in Brooklyn.
I would've been,
I worked there and I also worked at.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just
Or the other thing we could do,
And my partner worked at.
we can give them a send to James and James can hold them.
Love.
That might
yeah,
work.
we love, like.
Especially the indie.
But if it's you guys,
Talk to
it is
us
my
about
son.
growing, it's everything to do with this.
Yeah, I think that instead of like moving the configuration of that,
Yeah.
we just pop it off and then,
Yeah,
and
okay.
then you can, I can list the configuration.
It's currently like coach, so just know that.
We all always love that.
I'm really, a lot of the commentary got caught on the camera. I don't remember all those things.
It's the second song.
So great.
It's the song that we're.
Thanks for engaging.
So we're gonna have to pass it over.
That last song? Need that.
Yeah. Ben Doobie went on to get a master's degree in soil science after writing this.
Brother, you drop something now. Oh, big other. You don't drop something down, children.
Cameron's standing up, right?
Ken's standing up, and I'm good to sit. And I'll probably just stand up so to make this make easier. I'm just recording it on my phone too. Do you think it'd be fine to just use your live stream and just pull it down?
Either way.
Because I'm worried, I got like it's all messed up, I'm worried about scratching any of your furniture.
Yeah, how do we do that?
Okay.
It's more,
I knew I'd have a good time. Like this is honestly like a beautiful thing.
I
really don't feel like I've experienced a show like this before.
I'm really glad. That's
I'm very appreciative.
kind of what we're going for.
Yeah. Because even like, yeah, it's like, I don't think I've ever really been in like an intimate show. Like I've been like intimate shows, but they are all still like trying to go for the high energy kind of side of it.
Yeah, no, we're really not trying to go for high energy. But I think high energy is cool. So
Yeah.
like for people who bring high energy, I think Kitty brings a certain, like you guys will have a certain element of high energy.
Well, it's funny because we are usually the band that is the lowest energy
Yeah.
in like a a venue for a second.
Sure. That's
Before we switch.
when like inviting people, it's usually like let me invite someone who's like kind of stripped down, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, we're not bringing like any heavy metal rock bands.
I'm just gonna use his live stream for the front and then get a
Back
picture
shot?
from the back.
Back shot.
Back shot.
I think maybe this lamp, this makes sense right here. But it can be 3 different audiences. I think we use the lowest.
I thought it was that would be
Yeah.
He's not working.
Cool. Okay, I'm getting the dip. Like another.
How did she treat me like dirt?
You treat me like dirt. You treat me like
I would say put stickers on it. You know,
So, do you want me to like strum over chords while you're doing the cleaning thing, or should I do it?
if you feel comfortable doing that.
Yeah.
So it's like not dead space.
Yeah.
And
then at the end of it, you like.
I'll get a nod.
Yeah, and then those like, or even advice.
I'm just gonna invite people to keep breathing in that space in place.
Yeah.
So Mason, for this year, you're gonna hop onto piano. I'm gonna take that mic, and then I'm gonna give this mic to James. And then we'll switch it. Then we'll switch back.
Treat me like dirt. Treat me like dirt. I'm gonna be saying that throughout this set. Treat me like dirt. Treat me like dirt. Treat me like dirt.
All the places we were supposed to go.
Treat me like dirt.
Treated me like dirt.
How was this spaceship?
Mason, can we move your bag?
I liked how it looked there. No, yeah, of course. Is this okay?
I know it's not the
Yeah.
prettiest. I'm sorry.
Eat that, oh my God, please. It's gorgeous.
It's okay.
It's wonderful. Honestly, even if we wanted to keep that lamp on, you could keep that lamp on. I kind of like it.
Yeah, you want to turn it
It's a
on?
cool lamp. Yeah. What are you guys thinking? Like the egg lamp?
Oh, I love it.
I feel like it should be on, you know?
Isn't that like a thing, like backlighting is really important?
I don't know. It looks cool.
Bisexual lighting.
Yes, yeah,
I tried
yeah.
it with like 5 different light bulbs until I finally found like an 8-watt light bulb.
Oh man.
And it was like, and this is with 8 watt bulb. I was like, finally.
And that's respect. A bad light bulb really ruins a room.
Yeah.
It really does.
I'm all waffle.
I said, a bad
It really does.
You know what else we're doing? Crap.
Shit on the cross.
This is that.
Sometimes.
That's
all
fair.
preference.
We've done that.
You know what? It really has proven hard.
You guys are really loud.
Yeah, I did that during the
Yeah, it was
sound
cool.
check.
Is this how you're gonna play?
Yeah, I'll pull that closer.
Okay.
I will go that closer. Get it up in my sound hole.
It's gonna start off with Canada talking, but then we're gonna go into this like I'm strumming and he's doing a little solo. So I may be kind of quiet during that.
Okay.
Don't feel the need to like bump up, because then I'm gonna come back in when she starts
Also, I want to make sure our shadow is not going to
Oh, gotcha.
so that you're typing in. Cool. Maybe I'll just do a little bit like a little bump. And then
What's that?
would you rather this be a dance floor or a
Yes.
place to sit?
Dance floor.
Dance floor? I mean, people, what are people gonna dance to Curated?
Maybe they'll do
I feel
wall.
like
Yeah,
they
they're gonna do all
I think
of
it's- Yeah, let them get cozy. Well, we're more like a head bottom band.
I'll
We're
dance.
just like,
He and I will be in the back. I got all types of space.
I was saying it's so funny how many shows we were like the most taken of the set, and now we're like lively one. It's like, what? What is that?
Where was that?
Spaces? Damn, spaces. I don't know where I'm going when it's supposed to be.
how long are you gonna solo for the beginning of things that aren't guaranteed? Do you have like a, not really? Okay, we'll just keep
It
going.
was the yeah, when you start like strumming chords, kind of.
Oh yeah. You'll.
Well, that like double triple tip stuff.
Okay. So as long as we,
Double triple check, double triple check, check.
so I just go back here and sit. And then,
Did you ever listen to
hey, I used to
Jesus Christ
do
Superstar?
Do you
Yeah, what is that? Everything alright?
Yeah. Oh no, I think that's no, but it's the same instrumentation.
You're gonna talk for Miss Eurowicz?
Just walking around my apartment.
I need something ballet. LAS. LAS.
Oh, you saw that?
Proper ballet that's about to
You
happen?
know what I forgot?
Yeah.
I forgot we're currently live streaming. That's what I forgot.
Oh no!
Yes.
No! Hilarious. Well,
How close did you
now I'm sweating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just,
How did you get involved in that?
I met Chief Coker through my mom when I was young, and we were doing a lot of like kind of environmentalism work, and so he came through, and when I got back to college, I just reached out to him and asked if I could help, and started volunteer coordinating for land and water restoration projects that I'm doing.
Is that in Pennsylvania?
It's in Delaware.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's like central Delaware.
So there's a tribe in Delaware?
Never left.
That's cool. I had like. I feel like that
Buffalo
rhythm.
song?
Yeah. And I had the. I have thought. I don't know if this would be in bad taste. It's genuine, but like you know how they use like all of the buffalo, you know, if you could find like an ethically sourced, like indigenous, like buffalo hide, you know,
Something. Like
yeah,
drum or
like
something?
drum, yeah, doing the hand drums. So I think was it Lauren was saying like I think the hand drums is the move.
Yeah.
It's definitely
That would be cool. If I could find someone to collaborate with who had a drum that was like into it, that would be awesome. Yeah.
Because it's almost like the galloping of like the buffalo.
Yeah. I love that.
I think that would be sweet.
Love that. Okay, I'm here to watch y'all goof off while I eat food.
What is the term? What would you say? What's the term for like putting like
Pudding?
music? Pudding. Yeah. What is pudding? No, like real sounds, like real sounds to music. Is there a term for that?
What do you mean, like?
Like you're saying like a drum mimicking a buffalo.
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. I feel like there would be. I'm not sure what it is.
There's a word for it when you design something based on something you learned in nature.
What is it?
That's called biomimicry.
Biomimicry.
Which I feel like could be applied to music also.
Oh, have you ever seen the like I think it's Are You Van Halen?
Yeah.
Had like an elephant sound you could make with his guitar. Like that.
Is that Luca gonna do like 2 songs for us? Or is it just us?
I don't know. I'm trying to do the
You don't have to worry about holding out so long on the last one, or you might just try to match as much as me. The one I do, I do like a and it kind of matches the notes.
Oh, that's pretty good. My entire inside.
Yeah, but you don't worry on the last one. Hold it as long as you feel, but then, you know, once you feel it, okay, cool.
I love when it takes time.
Having a voice memo was like exactly. Because that's the thing.
You gotta practice.
Yeah, and you know as well as anyone. I just keep going to you, so I need to do it with you.
It's what happens, like when you're not used to harmonizing, like, you can go to what is
That's good. Fingers crossed I'm able to hit it. That sounds so loud.
Were you doing that at the end of the Buffalo song?
Not in the Buffalo.
Oh, not the Buffalo song.
The Dirt.
The Dirt song.
Yeah, for like too long.
What? No, I was sitting there. I'm like, these sound like lyrics, but it also sounds like what he was doing earlier. Like,
Yeah. The last time through the chorus, like everything at the end, that was when it didn't come back to the chorus for a long, that was all improv.
yeah. Now, before we all like actually started, it wasn't until you pointed out the dude who had the dance party shirt on that I was like, oh, he made that up. Oh, that was really good.
Yeah, it's something I love to do. It's just great. It's just fun. It feels good.
And it involves people. It's a great stretch. Mason, would you mind sitting where I'm sitting? Real quick, just to get the perspective.
You wanna take the video from behind us?
Kaylee, excuse me. Are you around? I'm looking at the mirror, so I don't actually know what I'm looking at. There you
You take the video from behind us?
So he's got a live stream going, so I'm gonna pull that one and then have this one. Especially for when you're like doing some cool piano stuff to switch over to that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Molly.
I love James's mind has like, I think when his frontal lobe developed, his frontal lobe developed as well.
No, when you
He
had
just thinks about these things now. It's kind of cool.
you had
I
a
hate
base-
that you're right about that.
you had a baseball hat on when you were directing the shots the other
Did
day.
I?
It looked really directed.
Very
Yeah.
No, I could have used your the jean cap you had yesterday.
You should have, yeah.
Perfect.
I don't think it would fit in me. It better fit on my head.
I don't know if she's saying my head's big or small, but
I got a big head.
She's got a big
they used to I had like a head injury when I was a kid, and they used to joke that like my head was still
You
swelling
shouldn't
from
have told us
it.
that. You shouldn't have told us
No, it was
that.
great. I was 2 years old and my
Are you
mom,
guys good to go?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay,
my
let's go.
mom left the iron on the kitchen table and well, dining table, and I pulled it down on my forehead and cracked my skull open.
That's crazy. How big was that? Oh, like a
Literally like a
clothing
iron.
iron. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you had like a clothing iron. Like you must have really like. It's like before your brain like fully hardened. Now you have that one little.
She literally watched me pull it onto my face and then just like pull it.
Hell yeah, dude. That freaking rocks.
Dang, I do wish. Dang.
Huh?
I said my love. I need to learn that.
Yeah, dude.
I literally haven't learned it yet. The amount of things, we did a lot of stuff in the studio that I need to go learn. Because it was literally just like, Kyle was like, I need something like this, and I would write something real quick. He's like, oh, maybe something a little bit different like this. I'd write something different. So I wrote like 5 parts for like a lot of songs. And then, yeah, and then like we ended up going with one, but I'm like, damn, like, I only spent like 45 minutes on that. Like, I don't remember what I did. I gotta go back and relearn it.
I was thinking, wasn't there something? We changed something with the bass in one song at one point towards the end. I remember you mentioned it.
I know we changed the bass for this. Where you started the Sweet Caravan where you did like a different run on the bass.
Yeah.
I got really excited about that.
Yeah, fuck, I never. I forgot about that. Like, I was driving and I was like, fuck, wait, I should have figured out how to integrate that into the piano. Oh well.
Well, and then the
I totally feel that. I totally feel that. Also, just so you're not gonna
That's your car.
That's like,
Oh yeah, I completely changed from the original.
well, no, so that like yeah, that was something that Kyle and I like came up with.
Yeah.
Kind of on the way.
Yes, so my name is Prince of Bear.
I'm gonna go pee.
Okay. You guys feel free to sit somewhere else.
Oh, you're gonna go into a thing, cool. Cause I gotta go pee.
Oh my gosh. Guys! Waiting in the wings. I'm gonna change this. Is that okay with you? Good afternoon, people. I was gonna give it a little. I didn't tell them yet. Do they want to do it? Would Allie and Zach like to join me on stage? Allie, do you want to join me on stage? Yeah! Surprise! I didn't tell them. We did just like over an hour and a half yesterday. So because in honor of the first, well, I guess technically it's the first band. It's the first. I don't want to say proper band.
Just the mic.
It's in honor of the first proper band. Oh gosh, but then now they don't have names. Okay, we're gonna have to figure stuff out. Is it okay if Zach?
Oh, I'm sorry. I just.
No, it's fine.
So I would say Mars Counsel are the first proper band because
Breaking the proper
yeah,
ceiling.
Liz. Well, maybe that's not fair to Liz. If Liz was here, she'd probably not like me very much. But so Liz played it as a solo artist and then started the band like a week after with the same people, and they've been playing for a while. But they weren't a band when they played. So as far as I'm concerned, y'all are the first band. So and in honor of the band, I'm bringing my yeah. You know what? Yeah. She just got married. She's over the moon.
Now is the time to insult her.
Exactly. Better the time to install someone than right after they get married. So I'm gonna play with my friends. Because there's this one song that I wrote recently that I've been really enjoying playing, and it's pretty depressing actually.
Nice.
But you know, I really like it a lot, and it's like we really have like an arrangement that like really I think is gonna sound super similar to like what will happen on the final the record when it gets released in 30 years. So
Relatable.
No need to set a date.
I'll get it to you guys.
I'll call you.
It's so funny you say that because I was gonna do something else, but now I can't remember where I put the other things. Oh, they're way in the back. Okay, so what we do is donation based. 40% to each artist, 20% to the house to cover the cost of the food and the drinks. So Russell, my good man, there is a little basket and a notebook. So the basket is for the cash monies, and underneath the basket there is a piece of paper with a Venmo QR code. If we could pass those around, and also there's a notebook, and the notebook says name and then email at the top. So you could stay in touch with not only me and the house, but with Kaylee and Mars Counsel and the whole band, which we'll introduce in a second, and Simon as well. And I will share, and then you can just like, you can get the cool emails from them and read them, and it'll be great. You can get the not cool emails from me, you can unsubscribe, it'll be great. So feel free to add that stuff, and stay in touch because we love having you here.
Thank you, Luca.
How do I know to say that I can't stay? Okay, wait, I have to restart. Because the first line is how do I know if I say that I can't say? But if I say how do I know to say that I can't say, then it's wrong. It's not. It's way more searching. And my girlfriend over here. So I gotta do it right. How do I know if I say that I can't stay? I don't wanna go, but there's so much in our way. Good jagged cliffs in sun by the rivers that divide us. I know I can't see where you're going. It leaves me weak and breaking. Feels if we don't shake this, you'll be erased. I love you, but I'm scared that we're losing what we have. We're only ever breathing the thinnest mountain and can't catch my breath. Can't find no rest, and I just don't see how we keep this growing. Every day is another day apart. And when I can't see your face, fear spirals me non-stop. But those days when you're with me, cuddle close, drift off to dream. I hope that I could never wake up. I know and I believe that if we care enough, it's easy. But I'm losing faith. I love you, but I'm scared that we're losing what we have. We're only ever breathing the thinnest mountain and can't catch my breath. Can't find no rest, and I just don't see how we keep this going. So every morning I wake, I just don't know if I can take it. Your shoes are gone, your sheets are cold. Take coffee on my own, it nearly breaks me. I love you, but I'm scared that we're losing what we have. And if we're only ever breathing the thinnest mountain, then what's the point? Yes, so my name is Luca. I write songs. But enough about me. First, a couple of thank yous. First of all, thank you to Mars Counsel, and Kelly and James and Mason for coming. And also thank you to Simon for a great set. And really, the biggest thank you to my parents. Hosting and feeding and watering. Lovely stuff. Please continue. And also, I want to shout out Jack Hopkins and by extension Sam Mills and Laura Trini and Grant. I don't actually know your last name, right?
Fisher.
Fisher, Grant Fisher, for last minute lending me a mixing board and QR cable after, not QR cable, XLR cable after some other things fell through. So thank you all so much. But enough about other people. Time to talk about Mars Counsel and Kaylee. So it's actually really interesting because I'm so unused to talking about a band. I'm so used to talking about one person. But I saw Mars Counsel play at Porch Fest last year, and y'all freaking rocked it. Because I had known Kaylee previously, and I heard Kaylee sing, and she's got just like a lovely, gorgeous voice. And it's one of those voices that it's got like that like R&B flair to it, but it's like this is not going to be politically correct, but from a white person. So, and it just like works really well. The person that I think of is Sam Smith. So I'm gonna sing Sam Smith's song in a second. It's not gonna sound like what they do, but it's gonna sound a little bit like the vibe that I get when Kaylee sings. So, but anyway, it's a great voice. And then I heard her sing with James on guitar, just holding it down. And I with Mason on bass, and he just like played one of the sickest solos I've ever heard. And like they're just like awesome together, and I'm really excited to have them here. So I wish I could solo like James, and I wish I could solo like Mason, but I can't. I can only sing. So somewhere there's a lyric sheet because I don't know the lyrics to the songs I sing.
Is it right there on the ground?
Is it that? That's probably it.
You need someone to hold it.
So right. No. So. Fun fact, I'm a preschool music teacher, and when I don't know the songs that I sing in there, I fold this in half and put it here. But I'm not going to do that, I'm just going to sit down.
A good call.
So, Sam Smith. I can sing Sam Smith, I swear. I'm young and I'm foolish, I've made bad decisions. I block out the news, turn my back on religion. Don't have no degree, I'm somewhat naive. I made it this far on my own, but lately the shit ain't been getting me higher. I lift up my head and the world is on fire. There's dread in my heart and fear in my bones, and I just don't know what to say, so maybe I'll pray, maybe I'll pray. I've never believed in you, no, but I'm gonna pray. Mars Counsel.
Thank you very much, Luca. Give it up for Simon. Very ethical. It took me to, I felt like I was galloping through the plains, and that's exactly where I want to be after being stuck in a city for so long. Especially after a rainy week like we had. I'm going to give you some space. I'm also going to get situated up here.
Are y'all playing Porch Fest again?
We are not.
Boo!
Yeah, unless someone has a porch for us to play on. No, it's not. We were, this past few months, we've been busy making a record. Yeah, so we have been in the trenches of recording, being creative, and working together to make something that we're really proud of. So tonight we're going to be playing a special rendition of those songs. We are typically a full band. We usually have a drummer. But we actually started as an acoustic duo. So this is a really special thing to kind of go back to the roots per se. Now, we were given prompts, right? And I love following prompts. I follow direction. And my mom is probably watching. I always follow direction. So the first one was a song to get comfortable in the space. And immediately I thought of our song, Things That Aren't There. Now, before we go into that song in live, we do a group breathing exercise. So Simon did a wonderful introduction of that, but I'm gonna get a little bit more in depth with you, right?
Do it.
If you don't mind, right? So after a long week, traffic, getting here, maybe you had work today, maybe you don't have work, maybe that stresses you out. We all have those things that weigh on us. A lot of times we hold that tension on our shoulders and our chest, and what that makes us do is breathe from our chest, right? So my profession, I help people find their voice. And one of the main things that you need to do first is to ground your voice. And we do that through the breath. So I have also had my fair share of working with preschoolers, and this has honestly been the best practice for me across the lifespan, so I'm gonna have everyone do it. I like to tell all my students, clients, patients, to close their eyes and hold out in front of them a large pizza. Now really picture your pizza, right? What's on your pizza? What kind of sauce? Is there cheese? Of course there's cheese. What kind of cheese is it? It's steaming now. I love pizza. So, I would love to take a nice deep breath in and smell that cheese. So we're gonna take a nice smell through our nose, nice and long. With me, ready? Let's smell that cheese in. Now blow out the steam. That was beautiful. Now we all know what we're doing. This time, I really want you to smell that cheese. Whether that's provolone, whether that's mozzarella, parmesan, whatever it is, smell that cheese on my mark. Ready? Let's smell it. And breathe out. So what that's doing, it's calming your heart. Hopefully bringing you into this moment. You're surrounded, you can put your pizza down, unless you really want it. You are surrounded by beautiful people. You've been listening to beautiful music. You've been eating beautiful food. And I hope that you continue to have a beautiful night. So please, if at any point you feel as though you want to move, you want to shout out, whatever you want to do, I invite you to do that, okay? We could all have fun and play together, right? So I'm gonna stop talking now, and I'm gonna let these two kind of take over. Feel free to take as many deep breaths as you need to get into this moment. Is it the coffee or the cigarettes on your breath? Trying to convince me I am not the second best. Can you take the time or the care to understand the things that aren't there? Alone again, I'm fine, but I'm scared. Still trying to figure myself out. I'm studying the scriptures to find what life is all about. Can it be another words? Hoping in the time that yours. You take the fall in stride, even though it hurts. I believe you will find me. I'm hoping to let time be. Hoping I have time to You call me out in the middle of the night. I could hear it in your tone. You were looking for a fight, thought I was bigger, and then you pulled my trigger. Yeah, my heart started beating and I started talking quicker. I don't wanna die, but I don't wanna get old. It's easier to live the way the story's been told. I can't tonight. It's easier to come, but it's the only time I'll have to say goodbye. So flow away to the rivers on the road. Put on your dress, put on your dress and show. We are better together than we're apart. Hope I'll get my shit together before we even start good. I'm hoping I have time to adjust that. I'm gonna skip this mic.
How great was that?
From
Mason had a wonderful solo. Let's hear it for Mason.
What happens when you give a guitarist a mic?
We should probably pass out the sheets now. This is the song that we are looking for feedback on.
Yeah.
So, is that So this song was inspired by something called the Mandelbrot fractal. Has anybody ever heard of that?
Heck
yeah.
Yeah. So the Mandelbrot fractal. Sorry, I'm not playing well like Simon was while we're talking. But the Mandelbrot fractal, it is basically this series of like really cool shapes and spirals, and it's really beautiful. It's graphed from this really tiny mathematical equation. And it's all based around this idea of chaos, mathematical chaos, which is very analogous to real life chaos. But we took interest in this fractal because it is it's seen very often in nature. If you think of like a pine cone, a seashell, broccoli, it all has to do with this fractal and how they shape. So we were just kind of looking into it, not really with a lot of intention, but we saw two things that really caught our eye. The one thing was called the Julius set, which is a different type of fractal that's inside of this. And the Julius set, it's very beautiful. If you can zoom in infinitely small, and it just keeps getting prettier. And it involves this idea of chaos, where the smallest change has the biggest outcome. So we saw that, we thought that was really cool. And there's another thing we saw called the Miserowicz point, which is a bit of a mouthful. If you want to read it, it's the name of the song. The song is called Dear Miserowicz. The Miserowicz point is this point where everything kind of diverges from. It's known as repulsive. So we kind of saw these two things and we're like, oh, this would be really cool to kind of embody as characters in this story, where Julia is this person who kind of embraces chaos and because of that has a very beautiful life. And just kind of goes with the flow. And Miserowicz is this character that is kind of fearful of this uncertainty, even thinks of it as evil. So this song is really a dialogue between those two characters and how they view life. I hope you guys like it.
Dear Miserowicz, you spend so much time inside these walls. Best be ready when chaos comes for us all. And all you are is awake when the right way shakes the bed. On your back, I won't run. He won't make me
Never be with you, you're everything that I'm running from. Dear Julia, I realize the day will never come, but I have no walls to break, no time for your twist of fate.
more to come. Sing to the water outside. When life gets hard, each second is a time. When the devil's on your back, I won't run. He won't make me run.
This is as far as we go. He'll spend his whole life looking for a home in a place that he calls home.
Dear Miserowicz, you never understood what's in those walls. Best be ready when the chaos comes.
Yeah!
So what'd you think? Alright, got a thumb up. Yeah. Cool.
I like the back and forth a lot. That works.
Those harmonies.
James, we worked very hard on those songs.
Yeah. That was the first time I sang at a gig.
Hell yeah!
Yes.
That's the feedback, do it more.
Yeah, I agree.
Never would have known.
Any other feedback? Well, everything's on the table. We really kind of put that song back together a few weeks ago. We started writing it maybe 3 years ago, maybe even more.
Yeah, back when our like inception of Mars Counsel really.
Yeah, and we picked it up a few weeks ago. So yeah, anything you guys can think of definitely would be open.
I really like the shift from, like, it says no, I won't run on the thing to the he won't make me run. I like that a lot. I think that works real good as like the devil won't make. Yeah.
Thank you.
I like the way that you bring back the word walls. It's like I had no walls to break, and then at the end you never understood what's in those walls. It's just like he's like, nope, I'm good in here. It's like you don't even know. So I thought that was a really nice callback.
I don't know what is meant by water-welled sun.
So
Explain that later.
yeah, water-welled sun is supposed to be kind of like the embodiment of someone who's down, like has all this potential, and it could be from like self-deprecation or it could be from an external thing, but water-welled sun is, it truly is like if you put water on a fire, it'll go out. So a water-welled sun is just kind of someone sitting and moping around and just not really believing in themselves. So the lyric is, there's so much more to come, singing to the water-welled sun, saying like, hey, like you're in a down spot, but there will be hope, because the song kind of does end on them splitting, and as much as it felt right with kind of the analogy that we were trying to make to the fractal, we really wanted to keep it like with a hopeful undertone, which is why the chorus kind of not necessarily strays, but it kind of guides, because if you didn't have the chorus, you would think that we were going in this like, oh, we're splitting, and you know, kind of with animosity, where realistically it's more so there's hope whether we're together or not, and it will all be fine. And that's kind of what the purpose of that was for.
So I'm gonna say that I did not get that from the words water-welled sun.
So fair.
So like that's, I don't think you have to understand every single piece of the song, but like that's not what came through for me there.
Yeah.
I like the imagery of the water.
The imagery
It made me think of a big balloon. Sagging down.
No, I know what you mean though. It's fair.
is great.
Water,
And then
water on
sound-
embers, water on coals. That's hard to fit with the rhyme scheme, but that might be closer to what. I mean, I guess it depends whether your emphasis is on putting the fire out or keeping the fire lit.
Well, and that's when I was thinking of it, like, and maybe scientifically, like putting water on the sun wouldn't actually make sense, but like, but like when I think of water-welled sun, I think of like a sponge and you can wring it out. Like the water can, like, because if you put it out on fire, it would go away. When I was thinking of it, it was kind of more of like a, like the water doesn't have to be there.
You know, it's a half rhyme.
But it's fair. It's a
You know
lot
what's a
to
half-
imagine from just that lyric, so it's a good point.
You know what's a half rhyme with come and ton? Sponge.
Maybe.
Just something to think about.
No, that's fair.
I mean, it's harder to work in a way that feels like pretty and poetic, but
Yeah.
maybe if it's closer to metaphor. I'm also interested, I think, with this, because this is a very conceptual song, which I love. I love a persona song, and I have yet to encounter a persona song from the perspective of geometric fractals. That's a new one, and that's really cool. What I'm interested in, I guess what's interesting to me about it is that it seems to me like the principle of this particular fractal is, or the thing that the song is interrogating and finds really interesting about this particular fractal, this geometric phenomenon that occurs in nature, is that there is this balance between order and chaos, right? That there is this tension between sort of regular patterns that persist, that suggest a certain kind of order, but also all the things that we just cannot control about nature and about the world. And it's interesting to me that so much of the emphasis of the song seems to be on, I guess, on the condition or the worldview, maybe, of the person who wants to keep it all ordered, right? That there's this, it feels, I mean, the title of the song suggests it's more about Mizraj than it is about Julia. And that's interesting to me, especially if it's functioning as a duet, right? Especially if it's functioning as two perspectives on the same sort of phenomenon, and the same, or two different perspectives on just life and how to live life. And I guess it feels like the emphasis is a little more towards why does Mizraelowicz feel the way this character does, right? And I wonder if, I don't know how you go about it, but it would be interesting to me to see that sort of balance out both ways.
Yeah.
Because it feels like, a lot of it feels like Julia is coming to Mizraelowicz and saying, like, why do you want the world this way? Why are you like this? And he doesn't challenge her worldview. He just sort of shrinks back and defends himself.
Yeah.
I'm curious about what it would look like for him to say to her, well, why do you just go around doing that? I'm not trying to play devil's advocate necessarily.
No, I'm loving
more like Mizraelowicz advocate, but like, what does it look like when there are arguments for why you want to have an ordered approach to the world, for why human beings, I think fundamentally we dislike uncertainty, we dislike chaos, we like to keep things ordered, we like to have things in a way that feels predictable.
Yeah.
Can I piggyback off of that?
Yeah, please.
During your second chorus, what if you guys did like a round? So so it ends up that you guys are like echoing and talking to each other, and maybe in that moment would be when you get to hear the point of view from. Sorry, I can't say that. Like if you hear
Mr. M.
So in that moment, you would hear during the second chorus, you would hear that opinion from Mr. M, and you would be responding with that same chorus, kind of back and forth, and then that kind of makes me think of like the fractal chaos of it all, and then at the end, it gets soft. Exactly. And then at the end, it gets softer with the third verse, because I think it would kind of amplify like almost like the climax of the song, and then also around is also just pretty, and I think it kind of mathematically works with the spiral.
And it's also forming a kind of order out of two things that normally seem distinct. Right?
And it would probably sound at the same time chaotic because you're both saying different things, but then it all comes to a head at the end.
That's very, your theater showing.
To piggyback, I agree with kind of thinking the same thing, that like I want to hear both of you on the chorus somehow, and I think it makes sense because some of the lines in the chorus are hopeful, which the Julia character almost embodies, whereas some of them are like, but each second weighs a ton. I feel like they can both kind of have that back and forth, and I think it could work really well.
No, I really appreciate this. I feel like it's a really cool perspective. I did not think of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think when we originally wrote it, it was that idea of like there are two characters in this plot of what's going on. And originally James was not, this was going to be only sung by me. And it was the thing where I was like, dude, there's two characters, there's two distinct characters, and like there has to be at least that, like the distinguish, of that dialogue. So I'm so grateful that he chose to sing with me for this.
Which happened like 5 days ago.
Right, so all of these notes are really helpful because I think like we initially built the song and we walked away from it for like 4 years, honestly, a long time. And now we just revisit back, and now we have all these really cool ideas thanks to you guys. So that would be awesome to see where that comes from.
Yeah.
There's definitely a version of the song, I guess, that is all from Julia's perspective, right? And I think for you guys knowing your work, but a lot of it is just you singing Kaylee, right? And so it makes sense that was sort of how the song started, of just you being exactly with that. But I think interesting to consider how to incorporate those two voices even more, sort of like distinctly and evenly, even if it ends up not working. You know what I mean?
I really love it when songwriters release multiple recordings of the same song, like different versions. And even if you choose a version that you love the most and it goes on an album, fine. But it's really fun to get like a little package that's just a couple different versions of the song, whether it's different mixes or like these different ideas, or one all from Julia's perspective, and then like that could be really fun. But I wanted to say also, that like so much of this is playing with cool paradoxes. Like the water-welled sun feels like an interesting paradox. And then, you know, Miserois being like in a place that is home, but he can't bring himself to like actually acknowledge that he's home and he's always searching. And that like, it's interesting for me to know that this is about fractals, but then also wonder what it would be like to not know. And the one thing I kept coming back to when you were singing it is like, what's up with the devil? Because if I think about the song outside of the context of fractals, that line comes off to me as kind of like, you know, someone in a relationship with someone else who's has a fear of abandonment, and just being like, no, you know, no matter what you go through, no matter how much you break down and fall apart, like I'm not going anywhere, is a really powerful thing to say to someone who has a fear of abandonment. So like that's how it comes off to me when I think outside of the context of fractals, but inside the context of fractals, I was like, where does the devil fit in the fractal?
Yeah, so I mean that's a great note that we discussed a little bit prior to this, but I think as far as, you know, of course it's Julia singing it, but really like, you know, from Miss Heroic's perspective, chaos is evil. Chaos is the personified devil, the bad, right?
Okay.
So it's like, it's Julia saying to Mr. M that even if chaos is on your back, even if like you're not able to carry that gracefully, I still got you, you know? Yeah.
I would love to hear it again. I know it'd be too hard to incorporate into the video, but I'd just love to hear it again.
You want to play again?
The round thing, what was that?
So yeah,
So- Okay. There's like two ideas there. One, you guys could just mimic the same chorus back and forth to each other, or this you would have to write something else. But you would sing the same chorus. You would have a different verse that goes along with the same chorus, but kind of gives more of the opinion of Mr. N and like why he's so reluctant to be outside of the chaos. And the thing about that moment would be, it is chaotic. Like about that moment in the song, would be like, people could listen to both verses at the same time, and then it would all kind of round to a head. I don't write music, but if that makes sense.
Well, and also what scares Julia about being away.
Yeah, and what scares Julia about. Like I feel like it could be them. It's almost like if they're in a conversation, that moment in the second chorus almost feels like when you're in the heat of a fight, or when you're in the heat of a conversation, so they're both trying to push their points, and it's like their most prominent points.
I think I can.
Does that make
do
sense?
something.
So maybe the second verse,
The second verse.
I'm not the second chorus,
Yeah.
is like kind of like we go back, like kind of like
Well,
think
do,
about.
do you want to sing the normal one? And I just thought of a few things, like just a contradiction.
Let's just do it.
Yeah.
It's an honor. Let me untape. Yes.
That's good.
This is our theater kids are showing.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
You miss your always. You spend so much time inside these walls. Best be ready when chaos comes for us all. And all your walls will break when the right wind shakes the base. Best be ready. There's so much more to come. Sing to the water, quelled sponge. When life is hard,
time for your twist of fate.
Best be ready. So much more to come. Some know what it was on. When life is hard, each second wins a time. The devil's on your back, so I'll run. He won't make me run.
She looks at him and says, this is as far as we go. He'll spend his whole life looking for a home in a place that he calls home.
Dear Mr. Ellis, you never understood what's in those walls. Let's be ready when the chaos comes.
Perspective of skill. First chorus you, second chorus you, third chorus interlaced.
Yeah. Cool.
Also, just because I think we need another chorus. It feels like it's getting cut off a little bit. After the bridge, it feels like it gets pulled off a little too. But yeah, so
Cool.
But I think from a symmetry perspective, not to impose too much on our song.
Wow.
That was awesome.
I'm not gonna disagree, but I'm gonna challenge you. That if you add a third chorus, I want to hear more melodic difference between the choruses and the verse. Because right now they're pretty
For sure, definitely.
And I think that I don't think they get lost in each other, but to me they feel in a very similar range. So I think if you do it a third time, which is fine, and you're doing it as a mix, that's very cool. That definitely worked, and I loved it. But I think some more variants before we get there to keep us hooked that long, because especially because the chord progression and the groove is the same kind of the whole song, right?
Yeah.
So,
No, I actually do agree with that. I was more talking just from a structural perspective more than what you were specifically doing melodically in there.
I think it's a great concept, and also the fact that Kaylee can sing "Dear Mr. M," whatever that word is.
We looked up the phonetic transcription.
It sounds like
so and it's like the voice is like
No, but it sounds great.
I was like, oh my gosh, I can never do
Yeah,
that.
there's
So,
a dissonance between.
It does sonically kind of. Sorry.
No.
It does sonically kind of feel like it's in the same fractal pattern the whole time.
Yes. And playing with dissonance, musically speaking, playing with dissonance, I think it could be really interesting. Not to mess with what you have going on musically so far, but just.
No, that's what we're here for.
But it is interesting. But that would be an interesting thing to play with, potentially in terms of how maybe those two choruses line up, or how they interact with each other differently. Because I think musically, if we want to talk about that, if we want to talk about like the metaphorical level of form, right? The song structure, the music already functions as a metaphor for what you're talking about, right? Music is a kind of math. There's a kind of order inscribing that occurs with music when you make a song, when you arrange notes and stuff into a certain pattern. But there's also a certain amount of chaos that can be conveyed through that. And so that's, I think, an interesting thing to say. One other thing I'll say that might be interesting is, it might be interesting to, it seems like you already know quite a lot about this. I don't know which of you is the math major or came from a math, geometry perspective or whatever, but it'd be interesting, and I'm interested personally, just having heard this song, in what the history of humans discovering this phenomenon was.
You guys should totally all look up the man.
Like
It's
who the
it's a
science
beautiful
gonna blow your
thing.
mind.
who the scientists or the mathematician or whoever was that got really into it,
Benoit
what
Mandelbrot.
his whole deal was, and
Just go to YouTube.
yeah, exactly.
Look up the
And I'd also say, are you guys familiar with Bastille at all?
Yeah.
They have a new record from last year called Ampersand, which is like all Persona pieces,
Cool.
which is very
Okay.
interesting and probably worth your time to pick up.
Oh, nice.
Thank you very much.
Let's
So
do one last comment.
Yeah, so and this may seem really way out there. So first of all, I could sit and listen to you all day. I think you're really that. And I love all three of you. What intrigued me when you were explaining the fractal at the beginning was the beauty of the chaos. And I kept wanting to hear something in the words, that even though you're coming from different perspectives, that there was a coming together of the beauty and the chaos. I don't know, I could be totally like misinterpreting.
No,
You're cooking, that's
right on.
good.
Yeah.
She's been cooking. She's been cooking all night.
No,
So I love, I love theater and I love, scripts and back and forth characters, but I kept wanting to, not for it to have a happy ending, but for there to be a recognition or a realization that we're maybe coming from these different angles, but there's actually a hint of beauty in that, for whatever that means to you. I don't know.
No, yeah, thank you. Yeah.
I will just say that I think that I think it would be great to see it in lyrics, but I do think that you also express it through your performance as a whole. And the fact that the music is beautiful and the voices together are beautiful is another way that can be expressed. So, I don't know, maybe there's a way it can be a duet and a person thing, but there's more moments where you're together. So we can hear more of those harmonies and hear, not just one person. But, yeah, I agree.
Thank you so much. All of your comments, compliments, and ideas. They're very valuable. So we'll be accepting. Thank you. All right. So we're gonna keep on keeping on, and I'm gonna set back up because we are about to go into Tower, and I'm gonna teach you a little something. So give me a second. Okie daisy. All right. How are we feeling out there? Ooh. Awesome. So before we start this next song, I really want to give you a pearl after you gave us a whole necklace worth. So with this upcoming song, Tower, which will be yours on June 13th, if you feel so inclined to flip over your lyric sheet, you might see a QR code to pre-save that. You should save that. That's a plan. You should do that. But anyway.
Smart. That's smart marketing, people.
Anyway. There was a specific techniques when it came to Tower that I specifically as a vocalist had to sit and really hone in. Of course, originally we wrote it as a band. We wrote it in Mason's basement. We performed it on stages at bars and venues. But when you're in the recording studio, that's when every single frequency you pick up. So when we got into the studio, I had a really great conversation with our producer, Kyle Pulley at Headroom Studios. And he said, Kaylee, you gotta think about your vowels. And that completely, I have a background in linguistics and I'm obsessed with vowels. So when he said that, I was like, beep, 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 and I just dove in. So Tower is a very heavy song. It's about unmasking.
It's about pressure. It's about living in a world that wants to make you feel small. So when I sing that, I want to express that through my voice, but I also want to do that in a way where I can do that now, I can do that tomorrow, I can do that day 8 of tour. So in order to do that, I had to look closer at my technique for this. So I learned 2 things, and we're gonna have a callback because we love callbacks. The first was, of course, breath work, but the second one was looking at my vowels and using a technique called diphthongization. Okay, has anyone here heard of a diphthong? Yes. Awesome. So for those of you who haven't, if everyone can just say after me, bow.
Bow.
Okay, B. B. Awesome. So those have one singular vowel node in there, right? When we sing, our tone is in the vowel. But if we were to take both of those vowels and push them together into one syllable, what sound would we make?
Boy.
Oh, you got it. Boy, right? So when we think of the vowel there, there's 2 sounds, one syllable, oi, right? So that's a really a very dramatized sound, oi, right? So you see it a lot in indie artists. It's called cursive singing. Sometimes it's, kind of laughed at a little bit, but I leaned into it to look at it in the way of where I can project my emotion through that. I do that through diphthongization. I also use that through vocalization. So in lines where you hear me say operator, I'm not going to sing like that. It's going to be more of like an operator, right? Almost without, I don't want to sound like I have an accent, and that was a thin line to tread as well, right? Of course, yeah. So no, this song is truly about living in America. So I want to be as American as I can as I'm singing this, but I want that emotion, and I want that grit, but I want to be healthy about it. So in order to get those vowels out, especially with such long lines, because this song does have pretty long phrases, especially in the second verse, breath work is really important. Now, for vocalists, of course, you practice, you find where you need to breathe. But there's some songs that with those long phrases that it's really hard. I'm a visual learner. So what I do, and I do this with my students as well, we'll write out our song, and then we will find plant marks. Very much like in choral music, where you actually see them written in. But this is our song, so we have to write them in, right? And that was really beneficial for me, for able to not lose gas halfway through the song, and actually tell the story that I want. So all of that to say, make sure you're breathing, think about your tone, the flavor is in the vowels.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Secrets that she keeps, crying at the tears for a younger head. She's pretty unruly pedigree, comes riddled with disease. Patience is pride, and that time will tame their vanity. It's a poison, but it's so damn hard. we'll all go overseas. But until we see each other, we can win but not defeat. What you got inside, see if you can promote it. Golden finger on my trigger, now I'm molded. Silver spoon, but it's rusted and eroded. Must be more to it, like the being loaded. What you got inside that you've been hiding for years? Same face, wrong us, but they're already here. Silver spoon, but it's rusted and eroded. Must be more to it, like the being loaded. It's a poison, but it's so damn good. It's a potion. Operator, thought it happened later. It's the end of the world, so I guess I'll call you later. Fall from grace and your ego left a crater. It's the end of the world, so I guess I'll call you later. Operator, it's me the instigator. It's the end of the world, so I guess I better save her. Fall from grace and your ego left a crater. It's the end of the world, so I guess I'll call you later. Operator, you give me operator. It's the end of the world, so I guess I'll call you later. Fall from grace and your ego left a crater. It's the end of the world, so I guess I'll call you later. Operator, you give me instigator. It's the end of the world, so I guess I'll call you later. Fall from grace and your ego left a crater. It's the end of the world, so I guess I'll call you later. It's a poison, but it's so damn good. It's a potion. Dare to look.
All right. So, this next one is a tribute song to our late caravan. Sorry. Last spring, we had the opportunity to do our first ever DIY tour out to the Midwest. So we were packing up our bags and we were heading out to Madison, Wisconsin, baby. Right? So in order to get there with all of our equipment and all of us, we needed to have transportation there, right? So we were given a caravan that was a little aged. She was 20. She was 11. I think she was 11.
No.
They lied to me about her age. Regardless, she was a lovely, lovely car. Right? She took James and his family to Sea Island back for countless years. Reliable. So anyway, we were gifted this car to get us to Wisconsin, complete our tour. We had a few stops, Pittsburgh, we had Philly, we had New York, we had a few days after that. And of course, you know, a 20-year-old car, you gotta get that checked out. So we took her to the car doctor, and the car doctor said she will make it to Wisconsin. And James said, "Are you sure? We have a lot of amps, equipment. These are very heavy, you know. You sure?" He said, "Not a doubt in my mind. This car will make it to Wisconsin." And it did. She never made it back. So, this song is for our sweet, sweet caravan. If she ever had a funeral, this would be her song.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Carry my darling over, let's part.
That was her letting her know she's here with her.
Listening to you.
Say nice things about
Carry my darling over state lines. Sweet caravan, I kiss her goodbye. You came so far, but not so well. Sweet Caroline, Midwest, she
Now listen. We made it here. We tried our best, but with no brigade, we're stuck in the West. So carry my darling over state line. Sweet Caroline, kiss her Let's give it up for James on guitar. Let's give it up for Mason on piano. This next part, I want you to sing with me. So I'm going to teach you the line. It's the same line, but there's two variations, right? So I will sing it, and then you may join me. Feel free to add as many harmonies as loud as you would like to sing it. I'm trying to fill this house. We want her to hear us all the way that she's scattered. And so these lines go like this. When you go in your car and you see that light turn on your dashboard, when you see that, when I see that light, what does it mean? When I see that light, what does it mean? Bring it up to 10. I see that light, what does it mean? When I see that light, what does it
When I see that light, what does it mean? Louder. When I see that light, what does it mean? When I see that light, what does it mean? That was beautiful. Thank you so much. That was the first time we ever played that for people. So thank you for entertaining us. All right, we have one more song for you. And then I do believe it's going to open up for a jam. Right? Yep. We're going to get some grub and some more wine. Hang out. Little wine never hurt nobody. This one's called Spaces. I said a little. So this last song is called Spaces. And we decided to end on this song because it is a song that inspires us. So Spaces is about that middle period, that transitional era, right? But also in that transitional era is when a renaissance can occur, right? So I feel as though on a personal level, you may be going through this, but just as a societal level, I feel like we're in this weird in between, right? So this is a song about that. Spaces. Down the spaces in between, I don't know where I'm going, but I'm supposed to be holding you in my dreams, in the real world, what it's supposed to be. Gingerly caught between where I was and where I'm trying to be. You say getting candy, life's moving fast and we got things to see. And I send my love from Paris, greetings from the West Coast. Are you embarrassed? I guess you got a grin and bear it. Hey, I'm wondering if you're thinking too how comforting this piece in the view. It's getting bigger now, it's time to choose. Horribly, we're buffering, time to refresh from suffering. Rose is where I'm trying to lead. Keep your eyes open to create your dreams. Not all the places we were supposed follow us on Instagram, listen to our music. We'll be rolling out music from now until next February, so thank you very much. We have a new song, Tower Will Be Yours, June 13th. And we're also playing at Nikki Lopez on June 13th. So if you want to see us full band, that's when we'll do the best to see us. So thank you, Luca. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Noreen. Thank you for having us. And thank you, all of you, for coming. Thank you.
Where does the name come from?
The name?
Yeah.
So
Here knows.
Mars, so, okay. So Mars Counsel started as a duo, an acoustic duo, James and me. So James's last name is Cull, and the derivative of his last name is good counsel, to give good advice. My last name is Martinelli, which is from Mars, the god of war. So when we were going through that really painful process of choosing a name, we knew we both wanted to be represented in it, so we took both of our last names' derivatives and we pieced them together. We're not Martians, but if people want to send us to space, I mean, I guess we'll do it, First band to play on space.
And I'm now also in the band.
No, Luca's
The space in between the words, that's what I do. No. Round of applause for Simon and I just want to say, I'm always struck during these showcases, but especially this time, just like how much fun this is for me, and just like seeing people really express their artistry in their truly unique ways, and also in ways that overlap, in just ways that I never would have expected Mars Counsel and also Simon to have connecting, mixing things, and yet they do. And I thought there would be some of that because I put them on the same night together, but they do it in ways that I didn't even know were possible. So I want to say a very big thank you to both of them for coming, and I also want to say a big thank you to all of you, because a lot of you are musicians. A lot of you have previously played at one of these or are going to play one of these, and y'all are the people who are the backbone of everything, and it's just really wonderful to be able to host these. So thank you all so much. You're welcome. So it's over. But I would genuinely love to hear all of you jam together. There are some insanely talented musicians in the room. We can even keep the stage set up if people want to get crazy with it. But please do make a new friend, eat some food, drink some wine. So, and yeah. And wait, before you do that, everyone who is not following Mars Counsel or Simon Purchase James on Instagram, go do it right now. Or you can't come back.
You're not allowed.
Okay, now you guys are good to go. So, yeah. Bye.
Me too.
Sorry, I was not expecting to. And then I was like, wait, how many people? I was like,
Yeah, no, it was I was so excited.
Yeah.